Well, this week, as we continue our search to find the best sausage roll in Yorkshire, we've reached Starbeck. So welcome to Starbeck. It's between Harrogate and Knaresborough on the A59, and it's known best to people in Harrogate and Knaresborough as the home of Yorkshire tea and Betty's, and the home of Harrogate's branch of Morrison's, and probably a little bit more for those who like a late night Papa John's, KFC and Pizza Hut. The only branches in Harrogate are at Starbeck, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at sausage rolls today, so let's move on a little bit. And of course we'll all know it for that sometimes very annoying queue as you wait for the level crossing. This week though, it is Elite Meat versus Mitchell's. But it's not really, because Wixley is the home of Vokes's pies, and Vokes's supplies their pies to Mitchell's, so therefore really it is Elite Meat versus Vokes's on this week's sausage roll challenge. So we have a little look at where Vokes's is based. It's at Wixley, again a little bit further along the A59 between Harrogate and York, and they're very well renowned for their pies. Quality is their way of life. Wow, that's very good. As you can see, some very, very good looking pies, and they are a little bit ubiquitous in the Harrogate area. Their pies are in many pubs and delis, etc. Elite Meat similarly has a very good online presence as well. You can see some fantastic looking meat there, and a very classy website. They also have a Facebook page, which we'll see in just a minute. There it is, showing some very, very good pies indeed. So therefore, a very good online approach from both. It's nice to find somewhere quiet where people don't mind me talking to myself whilst eating a sausage roll, which probably looks a bit odd if I'm honest. So on the left, Elite Meat in a well-branded bag there, and the Mitchell's pie provided by Vokes is on the right-hand side. We have a little look at what they look like outside the bag. There we go. So the Elite Meat on the left, that looks very much like a sort of a long batch-produced pie or sausage, just cut to the right size, whereas the Vokes's on the right hand side there looks like it is a standalone pie. Let's weigh in first of all. This is the Elite Meat, 114 grams there, £1.35, and then the Vokes's, this was heavier, 169 grams and £1.30, so better value. That's a really crispy, seems really fresh, that. Now look at this. This is quite different. This is like, it looks like a proper made sausage that's been wrapped in puff pastry rather than the sausage meat being placed in there. Yeah, almost like a perfect circle. Quite unusual, that. Okay, so let's try it. Let's have a look. Let's try it. Good pastry. Crispy. It's like a puff pastry, definitely. And not the best sausage meat I've ever had, but not the worst. It's not coarse, it's quite a fine mince on it, quite a fine grind, but seasoning's okay. Yeah, that's not bad. I think it would be better warmer, if I'm honest. Just speaking with my mouth full here, a certain gelatinous quality that might go if it was warmer, but yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nice pork pie. I mean, a nice sausage roll. Now, as we've seen, this is by far the biggest, but to be honest, the pastry looks a bit old there. You know, when you've had it in the fridge a couple of days. I haven't got great expectations of this one. So again, very similar to Elite Meats. This, it looks like a sausage encased in pastry as opposed to the sausage meat. It's just got a certain sort of circular shape there. Just as the pastry is worrying me. It looks so old. The sausage meat is actually quite nice, but the pastry around it is damp, and it's It's gone doughy, almost as if it's been there for a while. I think that would be a lot better if it was fresher. In fact, it would be, I think, really good if it was fresher, but no, that's just really disappointing, I think. So for the Mitchells, which don't forget is a Vokes's pie, I think the pastry, not as good. I think the meat was actually really good, really nice. The overall look, the aesthetics of it was not wonderful, but it was a big one. It was value-wise pretty decent. So, you know, compare it to something you get off a supermarket shelf, it's still miles better, but I think not as good as it could have been, really. So having looked at both, I don't think you'll be terribly surprised when I reveal the winner. I think that Elite Meat is the winner this week. A little bit unfair. I think it really won out because it was fresher. I think it would have been a far fairer fight if they'd both been out of the oven for about the same length of time. But I think Vokes's was a letdown. Very good sausage meat, but I think the pastry was a real letdown there. So we have Elite Meat that goes onto the leaderboard. And I think back to a really good standard after a poor week, I think last week in Eden, back to a good standard this week. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, I'd be very grateful if you could like this video and hit that notification bell. If you do that, you'll continue to receive lots more rubbish just like this.